Wait a minute. That's not what it's like to work here. That recruiting video's just a hunk of shit.
Morning, guys. All right, I know I'm running just a touch late for the stream this morning. Was trying to finish putting in a window this morning, and it was giving me just a bit of grief. So bear with me. I've got the last few things that I've got things going on, like trying to get the game up and running officially, and get my health check logins done here really quickly. But this morning, I think we're gonna do something a little bit different. I think I'm gonna change it from let's go for big ships and big trades to let's try some smaller ships and some smaller trades. And let's try and see from a newbie's perspective exactly what they have the ability to do and how much it takes to do some of that stuff. So again, bear with me. I may be looking off screen just a touch here, but realistically, that's what I'm trying to do, is just get the stream up and running because of how late I was running this morning. So, good morning, welcome. Thank you, Zeno, for being here really, really quickly. And apparently, Mr. Anderson. Boy, that sounded like the Matrix. Okay, so Anderson, welcome, Brigand, to be here. Prices are still horrible. Oh, that's fine. Zeno, I haven't checked the Golden Cat this morning. And I did run around and do some other tests to make sure that it really is a glitch with the caterpillar, so that as I self-report to RSI through the support team, that I can let them know that I don't know how it generated and how it happened, but that this particular glitch does appear to be isolated to my caterpillar. So we will check it first thing this morning here before we leave Area 18. But that's kind of where we are at the moment. Let me go ahead and get my Discord up just in case Chad is able to hop in this morning. I know he has work this morning, and God bless him. I'm glad he is working. I can't say that I'm not a little bit jealous in that scenario, but we'll see. Let me just pop on down into the recording channel. Alright, so we will kill our chat right there. And again, as I ran around and did some of these tests, you tried selling diamonds on Levski, but not possible, demand is met. Alright, so the only other place that you're going to really get some really good quantity for, or value out of that, Anderson, is running back over to Loreville. And if you really think about it, 22 million heading out of Crusader versus the 28 million that it takes to get across to Loreville, your difference is the approach and the amount of time that it's going to take to make the walk. So if you've got a full load and you're wanting to be able to at least get that done, I would strongly suggest that you make the run over into Loreville to clear that caterpillar out, and then maybe, if you want to, look at some different trades. But again, not much is going to be great unless you're centering around Loreville right now. So let's go check on the Golden Caterpillar, because take a look at my funds right now. It's ridiculous, even just doing the test. And I don't want to become known as the channel that gives away 1 million or 2 million UAC to viewers on a regular basis just because I have a Golden Caterpillar, right? Alright, we're going to run across into the trade district at this point. Now, full disclosure, yesterday I did pick up a 600i also. I just wanted to see the ship. I had never been able to see the ship, so I did pick up a 600i, and I must say that it is a beautiful aircraft. But again, we're going to run over here. We're going to check and see if I still have that feature or bug or glitch or whatever the hell you want to call it going on with the Caterpillar. If I do, I'm not going to sit here at the terminal and continue to sell. That, I think, it's going to take away from the overall experience of the game. But let's just double check and find out. So it is still showing my Caterpillar sitting there with 6,100 units of Laranite, right? So let's go ahead and sell this and see if it zeroes out again. Put gimbals and rhinos. That's it. Alright, I grinded 1 million about 6. It erases everything it hits? Really? It's that potent of a ship? Alright. If you notice, it just popped out another situation where it's going to give me an opportunity to sell it a second time. So it's confirmed that I still have the golden Caterpillar. And I am not happy with this. To be honest, I'm really going to say it. It was interesting yesterday about the glitch, but now 24 hours later, I'm really not happy that that's the case, because it breaks the game. Having basically infinite funds, infinite trade capabilities, that breaks the game. So that in and of itself, that's really kind of a challenge for me. Is I may have to do a character wipe, and I may have to, or not character wipe, but full reset, and good morning, Jelly. And then probably from there, I'm going to have to turn around and see what I can do about, maybe try claiming the ship. Let me see if that will work. When I get to another port, I'll see if I can claim the ship, and if that clears it out. Because again, I don't want to be in a situation where it's just too easy to make funds just by kicking back and doing nothing because the Caterpillar's glitched up. Let's see. We're going to go to the spaceport. Well, so, Anderson, I had really, and that was the turmoil that I had last night, and that's really why I'm like, do I use an exploit, and that's what it is right now. I'm officially going to call it an exploit. Do I use an exploit to boost my channel and basically try and turn this into, a situation where I have a whole bunch more viewers that are really only showing up because they want something from me? I really don't want to be stuck in that situation. I feel it's legitimate for me to sit and farm and build up for building a... Yeah, I'm just kind of strolling right now. But it's more legitimate for me to kind of build up and farm ships and give away things like the Cutlass and, maybe because I'm a trading channel primarily, maybe things like a Freelancer Max. Maybe once a month really do some farming and pick up the ability to give somebody an in-game Caterpillar. That would be fantastic, but the challenge that I have from an ethical standpoint is, again, this Caterpillar is breaking the game. I have an issue with it at this point. Alright, by the way, I was trashing the settings trying to find a way to let me see my mouse reticle while on auto gimbals. Now I see that it's a bug since 3.0. Most of my stuff, or 3.6, okay, most of my stuff I don't run with the gimbals. I hear Chad logged in this morning, so good morning, Chad.
Good morning.
I know Chad does a lot more with the gimbals, so he might be able to explain a little bit of the setup with the mouse and the reticle itself. Or did I call on you too early, morning, bud?
No, yeah, what was the question? I haven't got Twitch up yet or anything.
Alright, so Zeno is having an issue where he went through a bunch of settings, and he's saying that He's trying to find a way to see his mouse reticle while on the auto gimbals. And
So normally you got your when you say reticle, your mouse reticle, you got your circle with your crosshairs, and you're losing it when you go into auto gimbal and you've got the dotted lines surrounding. You'll have to.
yeah, it takes about 10 to 15 seconds depending on which stream you're on. So he said yes. Keep the mouse on the center. Or it keeps the mouse on the center.
Well, when you go auto gimbal, it will keep the mouse on the center. And what the gimbals are supposed to do is, as long as you're in that circle and you see two sets of dotted lines, they're tracking when the dotted lines, the closer they get together, right? So the gimbal system's a little odd because it's not exactly okay, yeah, do that because I'm not exactly sure the issue you're having.
Alright. Alright, I'll let you guys kind of go back and forth with chat on that particular case. Alright, and while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my trading software here. So let's go ahead and bring up Galug.
Yes, I got you. You know, when I'm running auto gimbal, I'm going to pull my Cuddy back out because I swore that I still had that, the mouse reticle, the movement reticle, but maybe I don't. Just too busy trying to deal with crap that I didn't notice.
Alright. So, let's just, for argument's sake, put in about 1 million there, okay? And let's calculate this out. So, basically, again, this morning, the way I'm kind of looking at this, guys, is for the noob that's in the game that only has a freelancer, I want to explore area, or not Area 18, but Arc Corp's trading potential to see what is the best in-system potential trades that are sitting here today. So, I guess that's really where I'm going to be focusing in this morning, alright? So, let's see. What do we want to do? So, Arc Corp, right? What do we have here? We should have Walla, right? And let's check the immediate areas, right? So let's see everything that we have available to us to mess around with and check out at this point, right? So we have Walla, Lyra, and then obviously we got Arc L1, Arc L2. So those are relatively close locations. So that's what we want to check and see what we can find. So let's start with Walla and Lyra. So, well, if it will let me type. Wow, come on. Lyra. Alright, so that is what we're going to look at. Let's go through the facilities and try and see what we can pull out. So according to this, there's a potential for some agricium, chlorine, and corundum. Agricium being the best option here. Let's go ahead and take and see what the Shubin facility actually produces, right? No idea. All the rest of this is going to be a little bit more crazy. So, we're going to fly out to Lyra, and we're going to look at the Shubin facility, and we're going to see what we can get as far as our agricium is concerned. And we'll check out what the refresh rates are as well. Let's see. Yeah, don't worry about any of the moderator stuff. It's still kind of being a pain in the butt. You know, I'm going to have to go through and probably add a whole bunch of curse words to the thing as a filter and let it just allow it to go through, because, again, I don't care. The only reason why it's there is so nobody can spam porn links. Alright, so a freelancer should be good at this point.
So what you're saying is, you've got a bot that comes in and cleans up non-dirty language, and the only useful thing it does is prevents the one thing we would all want to see.
Well, if you put it that way. Alright, heading up to Hangar 2. So, the problem is that the links are what causes problems here on Twitch a lot of times. At least from my experience this far, right? Because you get other bots that log into live streams, and then what they end up doing is they end up just spamming the chat, and it makes it really shitty.
Yeah, I know.
But as far as the bad language filter, it's looking for like 3 and 4 letter words, and sometimes when you type a clean word that has those 3 or 4 letters into it, it'll still be like, no, dude, you're cursing. Watch it. So.
Well, maybe it's multilingual and some of those translate.
Don't know. I didn't see anything about multilingual on the setups. So, we'll get there. No big deal. And guys, I think what's going to happen is at noon when I wrap up my stream today, if you guys want to and you feel like sticking around, I'm gonna at the very end of the channel today, I'm gonna raid one of my favorite guys to watch myself. Okay. So what it'll do is it'll pick up everybody in my chat, take them over to his channel, and let everybody watch it. And you guys would be perfectly okay. If you don't want to stick around at that point, that's cool. But he has a different take on Star Citizen than I use. And Chad has run with him a little bit recently too.
We talk about.
Yep.
Or is that going to be the surprise?
No, it'll be the surprise, but you know who I'm chatting about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun running with him.
He does more of the combat missions and stuff like that, whereas I focus more in on the trading. You know, my Saturday is usually a goof around day where he's, you know, pretty much just... Yeah, I mean, he does a lot of fun stuff. He gets a lot of people together to have some good adventures. We'll just put it that way. Wow, she's not... Okay, she is not wanting to fly for crud right now. Either that or it's just me. I think
it's you.
I'm okay with that. I'll take it. I'm driving like a grandma. Let's head for the sun. At least there's a fixed point I can look at. So, using a lone 600i, it totally wreaks havoc on the claim jumpers. Size 5 gimbal with laser repeaters.
Oh
Yeah.
my Jesus.
So, Chad, you weren't on when I did it. I did. I went ahead because I wanted to see the 600i. I pulled the trigger and grabbed one. It's a decent little ship. I haven't used it for anything other than just kind of getting in, walking around, checking it out until they decided to park it.
Sounds like a little bit of fun.
Claim jumper.
Yeah,
tower.
I
Wow.
threw some repeaters on the cutty last night and went and played around.
Mm-hmm.
I think I may throw some. You know, they did the trick of I overclocked them, and as long as I worked on, you know, my turns in short bursts, it made me have to be more accurate.
Okay.
I mean, the repeaters did not, but overclocking them did because I just couldn't sit there and spam it forever.
They'd overheat too quick
So,
on you?
Yeah, about 10 seconds of steady fire and I'd get some overheating, which
Okay.
really,
Have-
unless they're coming straight at you, a few second individual window.
All right. Have you played with your power settings in order to be able to shift more energy to your weapons and pull away from maybe your engines a little bit?
I have not. I wanted to do a straight comparison with a few missions, just steady, before I start tricking some of that around.
That's fair. So
I mean, I've got a giant power plant on there. I went ahead and put the Genoa just so I never have to worry about power ever again.
right.
But yeah, as far as shifting it over, I'm also thinking,
South 5. Okay. Sorry, just double checking my location that I'm trying to check out here.
yeah, no worries. I'm also thinking of getting some ballistic repeaters just as a overheating, and I've seen a couple guys do them with some of the ballistic repeaters, overclocking them, and they wreck. Of course, you have to reload, but you know.
Yeah, true. True. That's my only drawback, because I don't do enough combat to have practiced very well to sit there and say, let me get something that I have to reload a bunch of ammunition on, because I'm afraid that in mid-fight of mid-mission I'd run out, and then it's like, ah, crap, you know?
Well, and I got to check hard point on a couple of them, but there was a few weapons there that, to be perfectly honest, you could spam for 10 minutes before you run out of ammo.
Really? Now
Yeah.
that's my kind of gun. Now, the other kind of gun that I really enjoy is the scatter guns. You got to be right up on somebody to use it, but let's face it, a lot of combat ends up that way. Good morning, Red. How are you doing today? We missed you yesterday. You missed all the fun of what has now been affectionately nicknamed the Golden Caterpillar. You had to bind the relative VJoy button? Okay. Ballistics when battling players and energy when doing NPCs. Okay.
And that's why I was looking at them, because players tend to have beefed up shields and everything, so ballistics have that penetrate the shield, that partial, so you want to start knocking out some of their components. So yes, no, I totally agree. Just trying to find a good combo for me.
Alright, so Red Dragon, basically everybody that was in chat yesterday that was online and able to get into the game earned, or not earned, but was gifted 2 million AUEC. So, I felt very much like Oprah yesterday. Yeah, pretty much. You get 1 million, you get 1 million, you get 1 million. Go find yourself a brand new ship. There you go. Realistically, Red, what had happened, in full disclosure, and the video's there. I'm turning it into RSI. My Caterpillar is glitched. One of them. And what happened is it had Laranite on board when all those server issues and things were going on the previous day. And for whatever reason, when I parked it, it's allowing an infinite amount of small doses of Laranite to continue to be offloaded and sold. So it legitimately, it's kind of broken the game. So rather than sit there and hold on to the money, now I did some testing and stuff like that, and you know, obviously it is what it is, but I wanted to see if there were any like limits to it whatsoever, and there doesn't appear to be any limits to it. So again, what ended up happening is instead of keeping the money, I just turned around and said, you know what, forget it. We'll say that any viewer that was in channel that day, we'll go ahead and just start divvying the funds up to everybody. Let everybody enjoy some game time. Damn, I'm missing something. There it is. That's the spire. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. thank you for the bits, you know, Red Dragon. I do appreciate it. That is, you know, you get to go down as the first person who has donated bits to the channel. So I am putting together a little page of who has done what. Just so I can always honor those people that helped me when I first started out. Alright, so, now that I got that note captured. Again, we're here on, at Shubin, so we're going to try and see, why did you not recycle? There you go. We're going to try and see, because Gallig doesn't have any information on this location. It just simply says, and there's Bob. Now, guys, seriously, I would totally buy that damn t-shirt. Call me a geek, call me a nerd, whatever, but I would totally buy that t-shirt. So let's see what we can do here. Yeah, actually, Red Dragon, that happened Friday's stream. Right after we gave away the Cuddy for the first time. That happened on Friday's stream, so it was just enough to put us up over the edge, and, you know, looking forward to it. So now we're on our path to partner. And the only way that that partnership's going to happen is if I can average 75 viewers, which, well, that's the goal. Let's get there one of these days, right? I'm not going to rush that one. Okay, so Agresium is 2383. So it's a little bit higher than what they technically have listed. But we're still looking at a very, very good sell rate. So that could be good. Let's check and see what we can pull from here. So right now, the first pull is going to be 18 SCU. All right. Yeah, it'll happen. I'm confident that one day that's going to take place, and I'm all right with that. But I am in no way, shape, or form rushing it, because you know what? I get on this game to have fun, and I found myself in chat helping a crap ton of people, and just decided when I start streaming, that's what I want to dedicate to, because it always seems like question after question is about trading, and all anybody ever complains about is 30k after 30k. So why not, right? So we were able to get 18 SCU, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and wait the first 5 minutes, second 5 minutes, and we're going to double check and see if we can get some averages out here. I did not see the Elite Odyssey trailer. Is it sitting out on YouTube already? I mean, we've got 5 minutes to kill. So, which, speaking of, okay, we can have that chat really quickly while we're waiting on the console, right? So, I went through, yeah, dude, I'll walk over there right now and take a look. That's not a big issue. So, if we zoom in on Bob's shirt, it says Gutter Wash, and it's got the helmet, but it's also got an alien face to it, right? And then United Empire of Thrash. It's just, I like the detailing on that shirt. I just think it's a really cool looking emblem. Alright, so Elite Odyssey. So give me a second. Let's go ahead and I'm going to open this one. YouTube. Elite. What, Odyssey, you said? Elite Odyssey. I'm seeing Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous Odyssey, a trailer announcement. Okay, so we'll take a look at it. Drink here, hold on.
classic run into the airlock without your helmet on. Good job.
Good morning, Micah. Welcome back to the stream this morning, bud. Red Dragon asked us to check out the Elite Dangerous, the Odyssey trailer here real quick. That's not too shabby. It's not bad at all. They did a really good job on the trailer, but again, I've never really played the game to be able to kind of give that comparison. So, you know, I mean, as far as what the graphics look like and things like that. Now, is this the first time, according to this one, is this the first time where you're actually going to be able to walk planetside? Is that what the new deal is for them? And I'll leave that for you, Red, to you know, let me know on that particular piece. But okay, well then that's good, and I think they're probably making strides towards going the right way, because I think they're probably starting to feel some pain by losing some people to Star Citizen over that kind of stuff. But I did go through and I watched the Calling All Devs for the salvage, and it appears that if they were to stay on track, and again, this is my guesstimate based upon what I was reading in between the lines when I watched the Calling All Devs, it appears that they're looking at sometime what would probably be early next year before things really get an opportunity to work with full salvage. There's, as we were told yesterday, there are 4 different types of salvages. One they're calling the paint scrape salvage, which is basically like being able to go through a ship or the exterior of a ship and basically like pulling panels and stuff of it off, being able to kind of grab that as salvage to sell. There's the interior salvage, which is going aboard a ship and taking the components of the ship. So anything that's installed on the ship. Quantum drives, fuel tanks, you know, those kinds of things, being able to take every single one of those pieces and pull them back and salvage those. Then there is the materials, and not by materials, but like consumable salvage. So things like oxygen, quantum fuel, hydrogen fuel, water, those types of things would be salvageable materials from ships and, you know, derelict ships or ships that you destroy. And then finally, what they called like the, I think they called it the maw, which is where things like the reclaimer kick in, and they come where it actually just basically starts eating another ship. Okay, so those are the 4 types of salvages, and there's a few things that they're doing throughout the next couple of patch sets that apparently need to take place before they can implement any or all of those types of salvage work. So a lot of it has to deal with what they call their pipeline connections, how things work with, for lack of better terms, how things work with transferring energy and power and things like that throughout the ship, right? Because they're getting into the potential engineer side or engineer career gameplay, where hot swapping stuff, fixing stuff, bypassing energy nodes in order to be able to allow a ship to function during combat if something gets damaged. All that stuff is physically in the works, and it sounded like to me it would be early next year before they'd have all of that stuff done. They do have a proof of concept that they've already done and shown to their directors of development, and every director has signed off on it, which means that we're probably about to start seeing all the cards get worked into the development plan. So that's the crux of it. That's the down and dirty of salvage, from what my takeaway was after reviewing the Calling All Devs for salvage portion this month. So let's take a look now and see if we happen to have received any refresh rate here at this point. I don't think so. It looks like it's still the original 18. It's just not blocking out the system. Wait a minute. It might be... What happened? What's going on? I could have sworn we took the original 18.
Yay, I got a 10 code.
Good, 10 code. Sorry about that.
I gotta check.
So yeah, Jelly, I agree that would have taken way too long, but like I said, I did tell you I was going to go check it out, so I did run by to go check it out. And it was a lot of very helpful and useful information. I haven't been somewhere yet to actually reclaim the cat, because I have it parked at Area 18 right now. So we may stop by the, is it Port Tressler that's here? We may stop by one of the stations and see what's going on with that.
Didn't think about that. That's a good idea.
What?
Reclaiming.
Alright. So it looks like it changed. So 6 SCU, right? That's what I'm seeing for the second load. So that's only going to give us 6 here on that one. So we're going to wait. Again, this is about determining what is viable and where it can come from. So I'm going to go ahead and give it an additional 5 minutes to go ahead and see what the average is between the first and second load, to kind of come up with just a general ballpark of how fast things are going to replenish here. It doesn't look like it's fast. It legitimately looks like we're probably looking in the neighborhood of around 1 to maybe 2 SCU per minute, tops. Although, I wonder, you know what? There was a place to pull buggies out here, wasn't there? Yep, there it is, way over there. So we have probably about 4.5 minutes to go ahead and check this option, or mess around here. So let's go ahead and pull out a buggy and have some fun for a minute. I've only had my Cyclone out a couple of times. It's not a lot of there's a ton of gravity on this planet. That's interesting. Normally when you go to jump, you're like bouncing all over the place. Alright, so let's go down to, where is it? There's my Titan, there's my Gray Cat. Where's my Cyclone? Right there. Alright. PB01. So I'd like to do some stuff like get these or dragonflies or a couple of people together and, you know, be able to get out to like a planet like this and just have like dune buggy races go on. Have some competitions. Alright, let's see how well she drives. Well, I would, but obviously, where is my, there's my power, where's my engines on? There it is. It wouldn't take the hotkey. Oh, wow. This thing will move. That can't be good. Let's try not to die. So much for our tumbler.
What did you do?
I flipped it upside down.
Good job.
I'll just walk back to base in the walk of shame. Now, I was sitting there and I was doing some power slides with it and decided I was going to try and take it off a little bitty rock encropment that looks like it was going to be a great little jump. And it flipped upside down. So like I said, here's the walk of shame. At least I wasn't like crazy far from the base when it took place. All right, guys. I need to take this call. I'm going to actually mute the stream for just a minute, okay? I'll keep the video going. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Holy crap, they wanted to talk. That was a good thing. All right, I'll just say that was a good thing. All right, so I don't know if you guys noticed, but what I was doing was still messing around with those terminals quite a bit. So I'm going to have to go back through chat and see other things that may have taken place. So Galactic Imperium, thank you for sticking around and subscribing to the channel over on YouTube. I really do appreciate it. I'm trying to keep my niche here over in just doing trades. Now, Saturday is kind of a goof-off day for us, but we do that. If you're also a player, then stick around, because on Fridays, now, I will say this. You may have to jump to Twitch to do it, to enter the drawings, but on Fridays, I do drawing giveaway for a in-game purchased, and that's the AUEC purchased Cutlass Black. So stick around for that. All right, guys. So as you guys saw, we did run over to, and it's been a few minutes. I'm gonna have to pull that back up. So we did end up running over to Lyria, and we went to the Shubin mining facility to check and see what was happening with refresh and max inventory. So I can't tell you anything from a max inventory perspective, but when we got there, we had about 18 SCU that was available. Our first load after 5 minutes was 6, and our second load after about 7 minutes. And thank you very much for the follow there, and the subscription, Jake. The second trip, or the second 5 minutes or 6 minutes, was about 18 SCU. So what I'm seeing is an average refresh rate, and then the third was 17. So I'm seeing an average refresh rate in about a 5 to 6 minute window of somewhere around 3 SCU to maybe 3.5 SCU per 5 minutes. Now, if you're a intro trader to the game and you're just getting started and all you have is a freelancer, okay, that is this particular one, because it's very short, should still feel like it's a very lucrative kind of scenario. Now, this is a more expensive commodity, so what you would have to do is probably build yourself up to a neighborhood of around, I'd say, 100K before you start making this particular trade. Now, I'm running in here to the R&R because what I need to do is I need to file a claim against that caterpillar, and that's the reason why I stopped here instead of running right back into Area 18. But realistically, we would be bolting right back into Area 18 to make this happen. Alright, so Chad, you still on Discord?
I am. Can you hear me?
Now I can, yep.
Yeah, I was in the middle of combat when you signed off. Realized I couldn't hear the stream, couldn't hear you, wasn't getting a response, so like a genius here, I'm over here restarting everything else. Right. You know, because every once in a while I get a Discord issue. So what's up?
Alright, no, I was just didn't hear you, so I was wanting to make sure that we didn't have some kind of other disconnect, or I wasn't sitting there rambling on and my headset was actually set to mute or something. So it was my own sanity check, actually, more than anything else.
Not a problem.
Alright, so X, basically the trade route that we are running today, and bear with me, because where is the ship terminal? There it is. I'm going to go ahead and file a claim on that caterpillar that is sitting there. So we're on pad 4 right now. So Area 18. So the magic cat I'm filing a claim on, I want it to go away. And then we're going to head back to our pad and get out of here. So pad 4, right? Yep. Bear with me here, guys. X, basically I am doing nothing but a beginner's trade option, and I wanted to check out what Lyra had to offer, because there are some gaps in the Galag app that don't tell you what their refresh rates are to even know whether or not it's worth heading out there. So right now I'm not even running the caterpillar. I am running the standard freelancer that everybody has. Okay? So this is just kind of something that I wanted to make sure that anybody and everybody that has access to the game that can farm up a little bit of cash. Well, we don't know about that yet, Xano. We haven't completed that particular part of our glitch test. Because it could claim, and then it could come right back, and we could still have the glitch on board. I don't know. Hopefully we don't. But that could be the case. But so what I'm doing is I'm going from Lyra, and let me grab the exact location, because not one of my typical runs here, okay? We went from Lyra on the Shubin mining facility to Sal 5, and we're going to be heading back to Area 18. And what we looked for here is nothing but agricium, okay? So one of the better trading commodities in the game, but we're looking at it from a perspective of how fast can we get this material for a freelancer. I didn't want to have my zoom work there. All right. On my radar ping work there. So we are going to set our route now for Arc Corp. All right. Let's fix our map here because it's all over the place. Let's get into Arc Corp, get into a good position where we can head to Area 18, and we'll get set up for that run. Let's find out how well this actually does, okay? I mean, in theory, it's agricium. It's going to do well. Yeah, so, X, if I was in my Caterpillar right now, I would tell you, hands down, I don't want to sit there for, 5 hours trying to load the Caterpillar just to get agricium. I'd rather just do straight up titanium runs. Whoa, what the hell was that? Anybody else saw what just took place? That... Okay. That was great. It put me in the planet. I'm upside down inside the planet, and then kaboom. All right, hold on a second, guys. Kids. Gotta love him. He's on his way to go wait some tables, make some money. Good for him. Alright. So, apparently, I don't know how that trade is going to work out. But we will have to reset and try that all over again, because that was just as jacked up as it could possibly get. But because my feet were on the ground at Virginia Point here, we gotta go here. We're gonna have to claim that ship. We'll run back over to Lyra, fill it back up real quick, and then retry this again. And we'll just kind of confirm it. So now the funny thing is I don't come out to this location, so I'm probably gonna make a bunch of wrong turns, which is fine. What do we got? So that's the armor shop. I don't need the armor shop. I don't need that shop. I want to say we can go check the... Yeah, we'll go this way. That's where we need to head to. Watch, I'm probably still going the wrong way. Boy, they're trying to look like they're being intimidating, aren't they? Just a bunch of scrubs standing there as you step off the tarmac. Alright, so we will get our freelancer claim again and be good to go there. Alright. So yeah. Again, at least this wasn't a caterpillar full of stuff. That would have been bad. Streamlabs can't see. I'm trying to share a Twitch clip. Okay. So X, please refrain from posting links. All right. So it's okay. I'll tell you what. Why don't we go ahead and let me open that link and let's just see what we got here. Mushy, scary mango, right? Give me a second. Come on, Twitch. Whatever. It won't take it, but we can do this instead, right? What we got? Just to get a Greasium? I'd rather just... okay. You're just going to share that. All right. That's all good. We'll go back and try and redo this again. But, yeah, ultimately, like I said, this is really just... Today is geared around let's make some people that are new to the game or trying to get into the trading world have an opportunity to be able to use the ships that they currently have. Because again, as much as I love my Caterpillar and I run my Caterpillar, not everybody has them. But a lot of these ships that have between 40 and 60 SCU, some of these types of things will work out for them. So we will be heading back over and filling back up again. Oh, you know what else we need to file a claim on? It's not going to be here at this console. I can't do it. So X, you subscribed for this month for the Carrack. I will definitely tell you, I was 100% tempted to do the exact same thing. But then I kind of came back to the conclusion of, if I'm going to use it to run cargo, I'm just going to use my Caterpillar. So X, how far out are you, monetarily speaking, from your Caterpillar? You are 2 million away from being able to get your Caterpillar. Okay, it's good to know. If the magical cat works, then I'll probably loan you the funds. Okay, so come on. 11 seconds. I know, I hate standing here. It's absolutely boring when you're waiting on ships, even expedited ships. Chad, you sound a little frustrated.
Oh, I'm fine, man.
Just kind of the way you breathed into the system there.
Oh, well, let me turn the sensitivity down, because God knows that's not what we want to hear blasting out over the net.
That gives me a chance to check on you, brother. Which, by the way, are you going to be at the house today? I know you said, crap. I was talking, didn't pay attention. Where the hell did I put my ship? Are you going to be at the house today? Pad 1. If you're talking, now I can.
How's that? Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Well, I was trying to adjust the level, and so... yeah, actually, I was going to ask a favor of you.
Yeah. He's going to put me on point here on stream, right? Okay, got it. That's how friendship works.
Oh, yeah, so I could go, I do it for you, man.
Uh-huh. And then I'm the dick if I don't, right?
I'm waiting on the wife to get up. She's been sick, so she had a restless night last night. But I got to go pick up my truck.
Yeah.
From Pearland, right off 288. So if you don't mind, I might bum you for a ride after stream and everything's all over.
Not a problem, because I need to bring your earpod back over anyway, and that you left over here, and you know, I can take you up there and do that.
Sounds good.
I got one more board right after stream that I've got to put back up. So for those of you that are here, and I know this is absolutely riveting TV, right? This morning before stream started, I was out replacing the trim work on one of my windows because the trim work had actually started to rot. So I've got one more board that I actually need to attach before before I can head out of here, but that'll be a pretty quick, straightforward operation, and then I'll head over, pick you up, take you, go get your truck.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Alright, let's see. So, we're going to go from here to Lyra again. Let's go ahead, and again, we know that it's the Shubin Mining Sal 5 location, which, where are you? There it is. Fine. You're going to be a pain. There it is. Come on, take it. I feel like I'm screaming at a 2-year-old, like, shut up and take it. I mean, this is ridiculous. Eat your vegetables. Finally. Alright. Oh, we are obstructed still. Okay, let's go ahead and make some good distance here. And then we'll be able to make that jump. Okay. So you hope you can do the magic cat trick. Or you hope I can do the magic cat trick. Well, when we run back to Area 18, we're going to find out, because that cat should be done and should be taken care of. And again, I really, really hope that the glitch is gone. But if not, because I still have leftover funds that are sitting here, we may do a giveaway. We may do an additional giveaway on Friday, where not only are we giving away the the Cutlass Black, but we may turn around and give away some money, some in-game money, and let some people have some fun with it. Yeah, that's a baller giveaway. Yeah, I get it, man. I would love to be sitting on a stream myself where some dude's sitting there telling me, "Fuck, I got too much money. Come take it," right? All right, X. I can't explain the cat glitch. I have no idea how it happened. I can tell you what led up to it. When we were on stream the other day, and I was trying to get the caterpillar to load up over on Aerial with Laranite and Titanium, and I kept telling you that I was running into where I felt like the server was about to crash, because the controls were wonky, it wasn't registering at the machines, nothing. And then, at the same time, I had also rented an additional Caterpillar from the Fleet Week, and it didn't show up in my inventory. Well, the 30K happened, and what ended up happening is everything showed up in my inventory, and the cat showed up fully loaded. But it didn't just show up fully loaded with 560 SCU. It showed up fully loaded with like 1 million plus SCU. And we do have that on stream. It was asinine. It was legitimately showing it had like 1 million SCU sitting on the damn thing. So I was like, okay, is this legitimate? Let's go find out if it's legit. And I went over to Lorville, flew in, landed, ran to the business district, and got on a terminal. And I sold everything that was on there, and it was like this super huge amount of money that just bolted right in one shot. And then I noticed that it was still sitting, and it said I still had 62 SCU sitting on that ship. And every time I hit the button to sell it, it would sell another 62. And it would just continuously sit there and load and sell 62 over and over and over again of Laranite. I don't know why it happened. I don't know what happened to cause it. All I can tell you is that, you know, I went ahead and just was like, well, let's go ahead and, you know, it is an alpha. I'm going to report it. I'm going to test out what's going on with it. And a vast majority of those funds I gave away to viewers yesterday. But this morning I got back on to check and see if maybe the glitch was gone. And first thing on the stream this morning, I went over to the terminals and I got on there, and it's still 62 SCU. I was able to sell it back to back, and I was like, okay, nope. We're gonna go see if maybe we can go file a claim or something against this Caterpillar, get a new Caterpillar, and just wipe the glitch clean. Because as much as most people would sit there and say, just farm the money, give it away, and do other things like that, I think it breaks the game, and I don't want to do that. I want to have goals in the game to grind for.
But that was definitely a game breaker if it continues.
You know, and even though I'm running a stream, and I could have just simply said, you know, all right, let's just give everybody in stream a freaking, you know, Cutlass Black, right? And I could have promoted my channel just using that. I ethically, I'm sorry, I struggle with that scenario of just saying, let me go ahead and use an alpha test issue to my advantage to basically build my stream. That's no good. I'd rather have people here because they like the content than have people here because they are expecting to be given something. And granted, I am happy to give away Cutlass Blacks and things like that because you know, Chad will tell you, I was excited for our first giveaway. I was really excited for the first giveaway.
Yep, he wouldn't shut up about it. He'd call me at 2 a.m., giddy like a little 5-year-old schoolgirl.
Yep.
That's a lie. He called me at 2 a.m., but that's not what we talked about. But that's between us.
Beers and bitches.
Beers and bitches.
Come on, you guys know that needs to be the next stream title, Beers and Bitches. So yeah, if we can't have fun around here, then, you know, you don't need to be here, because that's again, I really don't care, man. We're just gonna enjoy it. We're gonna have some fun. That's all it's about. Although, Chad, when is Becca up for another game of Arkham Horror?
I do not know. I will have to ask her. We'll have to.
We don't just video game around here.
I'm sure we could find us a evening or afternoon or something.
Well, it's going to have to be a weekend night because we both know that game's going to take us like 6 hours. Anyway, yeah, so Xano, I kind of do take into account the fact that there are, you know, that the game has kind of had a bunch of 30Ks, but no more than anybody else has really experienced. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are so intrigued by trading in the verse, but they just don't do it because they're so worried about the 30Ks making them lose money. And it's like anything else in the game, though. Just grind through it. Don't risk so much that you can't recover from it. All right. So we're going to do a little bit different here, and I'm going to keep a little bit better track because we already know what we're dealing with from a refresh rate. So we're able to get 23 for 54K. Right? So realistically, I want to make sure that when we do this, that somebody else who has a freelancer is going to be able to come back in and make sure that they're going to get this exact same type of trade and availability. Now, the good news here is that they do stock titanium, right? So if you're wanting a very quick just run, kind of like what I do over on Aerial, then you could grab whatever Agresium they have and also top off with whatever titanium they have. So this is probably your better choice if you're not sitting on a ton of funds, right? Because the 23 SCU that we're sitting on right here, we're probably looking at somebody needing a bankroll of a minimum of 150K to fully fill up with Agresium. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and simulate that. Rather than sit here because we know what the refresh rate is, let's go ahead and finish filling up with titanium. Now, when I checked earlier, when we were out here before, the titanium does not have the ability to fill a caterpillar. It's very, very limited in this location. But between Agresium and titanium, you should have more than enough to fill a a freelancer. So even here, 34,292, right? Let me actually make that trade, right? So that's about, you know, another 43 SCU that's going to sit there. So at this point, you're going to need approximately 90K to make this trade. All right? So you can acquire that by doing, if you're brand new to the game, you can acquire that by doing box missions. You can acquire that by, you know, doing a couple of the miscellaneous missions that are out there, as far as not just deliveries, but maybe doing some bounties to kind of buffer that a little bit. So a few different things that can happen. You know, one of the things that I would also say is, in chat, people are always looking for crews, okay? Just, they don't necessarily spam that they're looking for crews. But if you put into chat, hey, I'd like to crew up, then a lot of times what you'll run into is you'll find folks that will bring you on board, pay you a percentage of the profits, so that they can either have a gunner or have some protection when they're doing some trades. You know, I do it quite often. So that's, again, one of those things where you can get, you know, that kind of money. Or you could take a hand mining tool, take one of the missions to, and this is really my preferred method if you're brand new to the game, right? Take a hand mining tool, and then immediately run to, or pull up your missions and do an investigation mission. It's going to send you to a planetary cave, okay? And here's the trick. Grab yourself 3 of those gaudy-ass, big, giant yellow backpacks. And once you fill one, go to your inventory manager and swap it with your next one. Okay? And by the time you fill all 3 of those backpacks doing a cave mission, and you're not even trying to find the dude, you're just trying to get the mines, okay? But by the time you fill those 3 backpacks, you will have enough funds to be able to do any type of trading that you want to do from an entry-level trading. So anything you want to load onto a freelancer, you should have more than enough to be able to pull it off. Okay? So that's always an option for you. Now, if you have a prospector, just grind the crap out of your prospector.
Actually, that's what I'm doing right now, just to get used to it.
I mean, I may pull that sucker out here in a little bit, just for argument's sake, right?
What's sad is I was picking up a Grecium and Laranite and found one more deposit to top off, and still had to leave a bunch of Laranite there.
That is always a bad feeling, dude. Always. Make sure have flares, nothing annoying and getting lost in a cave. It depends on how far and how deep you're wanting to go into the cave. Okay? Jelly, every time that I've ever done that, I pretty much have found enough mines to be able to follow the grade of the mine itself. Because all I do is just turn around and immediately follow it back up. But I do get it. Better safe than sorry. You don't want to have 3 backpacks of crap and then all of a sudden not be able to do anything, right? Find your way out.
Die of dehydration because you spent hours trying to get out.
Just flipping around on me. Okay, there we go. So again, this is kind of that very basic intro trade. Run a freelancer. Everything else is kind of tied up. And as you saw, me going out there and grabbing, the Agresium and Titanium, even chatting with everybody and just BSing around. This run is, less than 10 minutes? I'll be landing here at in Area 18 in just a minute. And I mean, even if you wanted to pad this and say this is a 15-minute round trip run, right? By the time you get on the trams and get everything else said and done, we'll be able to kind of figure out what kind of profit it's capable to make in 15 minutes. This is always fun. I believe when we are doing a nighttime approach, this is the problem that a lot of people have when they're coming in here. You see this one tall building with the purple lights on it, purple and white light? If you look to the left of it, there's a big black dark patch that looks like a line. And if I'm not mistaken, that's actually our starport. I know a lot of people get lost coming in here. And if the other thing is look for this circular spire that my crosshairs are on, and now it's just above it. That should be right there again, our starport. So the name of the game for new traders in the verse is make sure that no matter what you're doing, you want quick, profitable runs. If you have and you want to make sure that you're never flying a leg to the best of your ability. If you have to do long legs especially, make sure that you're never flying a leg that's you're empty-handed on. Alright, maybe my angle was wrong. Maybe it's on the other side here of this. I always look for that spire itself.
Good job, guy.
There it is. Nope. I came in at the wrong angle. My apologies. I'm dumb as fuck. I got it. I'll take it.
Well, you know, it always depends on where you jump from. So, you know, I can't tell you how many times, like coming in Loreville, I've come in right over the spaceport on the opposite side, way off in the middle of BFE.
Yeah.
So, at least that has lights.
This is that long dark area that I was typically talking about that you'll see that I'm kind of covering with my cursor right now, or my reticle right now. But I did come in at the wrong angle. Because it's not until you get right on it that you see that orange flashing light. Alright, where are you going to put me at? Let's get this in and done. And then while we're there, we're going to check and see if the Golden Cat is still operating. Yeah, F4, when you first go into it, it does give you a brighter view. Not necessarily always a better view, but it does give you a brighter view. Whenever I'm planet side and approaching and I have a landing pad or a facility that I'm trying to get to, 99% of the time I'm going to come in an F4 view. But whenever I'm getting ready to fly into a hangar of any sort, most of the time, other than judging some distance, but true lining up and everything else that's there, I'll usually just stay in standard view. Or standard first-person view here. Alright. Now, anytime you're approaching a nighttime location or landing, Jelly, I will agree with you no matter what. That is almost always a third-person view to make sure that one plays out well. Alright. So, for expedience sake here, guys, we are going to go ahead and sprint instead of casually strolling through this location. And get ourselves over to the trade terminals. Again, because we want to make sure and we want to double check that not only the Golden Cat is done, but we want to double check this newbie trade here. And I can tell you whether or not it gets my 2 thumbs up and stamp of approval kind of routine. Jelly, you went ahead and got it? You're going to see how it goes in the next few hours? That's awesome. Alright, so I want to make sure that it's physically located here for me to check. So let's go ahead and click the expedite. Let's finish that up so it's available right now. Okay. Alright. So we should have that one, which is fine. That's our caterpillar. That's the one we want to check. So it should be available from a storage perspective now. And I did want to make sure that we did that so we didn't have to run back and go back and forth a couple of times. So Central, that's where we're headed to. And they need to hurry up and fix getting people off of these couch cushions.
That reminds me of that damn movie. That old Marky Mark movie, the one where the wind would blow and people get infected and they lose their ability to preserve themselves and they just like walk into lawnmowers and crap.
Yep.
The way they just stand there.
So, by the way, Jelly, congratulations on actually pulling the trigger on that. If you're available tomorrow, I will say that maybe if you want to give us a test flight, then tomorrow maybe we can put it on the books where people get a chance to come in and take a look at the Prowler kind of firsthand. Because I personally haven't been inside of one yet. I mean, there's so many ships in this game that it's kind of one of those where you're like, all right, for the younger audience, your Pokemon, you gotta catch them all. You gotta be able to see them all. You know. And I'm sorry, I raised kids in that generation, so that crap was on the TV all the time. I mean, you pretty much figured that Ash and Pikachu were going to do the same damn thing every freaking episode. It's all good.
Yeah, generally whine a lot.
No, that was Brock. Brock whined a lot. But, and again, sad that I know that crap, right? But, it was that and SpongeBob. Oh, dear God. SpongeBob. Oh, man. That stuff was on all the freaking time. But I'll still tell you it was better than Barney. Alright, so I want the plaza. There we go. So there's TDD. So that is where we are headed. Now, see, I grew up in an era of great cartoons. You know, we had Transformers on, we had G.I. Joe on, we had Robotech when I was in high school. I mean, it was, yeah, there was a whole bunch of other stuff that was on that was, to me, that was the golden age of cartoons. But then again, it was also the age where you would grab a bowl of cereal or a Pop-Tart and you would run out every Saturday morning at 6:30 in the morning to freaking grab the TV so you could lay down in front of it and watch. Saturday morning cartoons were the best.
And there was no pausing.
Correct.
And you haven't lived until you listen to Schoolhouse Rock.
Okay. So our Drake Caterpillar is showing 0 SCU of cargo. Glitch is gone. Claiming the ship actually did take care of it. So the Golden Caterpillar has officially been laid to rest, folks. It is no longer available to us. Oh, Jelly said, "Excuse me, I've got Avatar: The Last Airbender. I bet you couldn't find better." you know, I would disagree. Last Avatar is very, very good, but I will say, man, Transformers. I still got to stick with Transformers. Because when Transformers the movie came out, holy crap. Let's go ahead and
You know, I read a comment like that, and I just go, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to fight today.
We're going to fight today? Them's fighting words. All right.
Yeah, well, you know, every generation's got their stuff. And as far as the newer generation shit, and I know for the real young ones it's not, but, like, I actually enjoyed watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was an adult when that came out.
So, I had a
Never played the game.
I had a guilty pleasure cartoon that I loved and I watched religiously. And it was called Ronin Warriors. And I think I was maybe like 19 at the time. And I absolutely... It was fantastic. So that was one that is from way back in the day.
Ronin Warriors. I've never heard of it.
Ronin
I'll have
Warriors.
to check it out.
All right. So in that trade that we just did, okay, we made approximately on the titanium about 6K. All right. And then on the agresium, let's see, we made another, what, it looks like about 8K-ish on that. So this little quick run, and I will tell you this gets 2 thumbs up from a beginner, if you are sitting somewhere between that 60K funds mark and 100K in funds, this little run out here in Arc Corp is fantastic. So let's recap what we've got. Because by the time it's all said and done, making 14K profit off of a freelancer in about every 15 minutes is going to be a great little routine for you. Okay? So what we were looking at is we were looking at flying out of Area 18, heading over to Lyria, which is in system at the Shubin mining facility. Grabbing agresium, topping off with titanium, turning around and bolting right back to Area 18. And in the test run that I just did, 14K profit. So it doesn't sound like it's a ton when you're risking what could potentially be 80 or 90. But the fact of the matter is that you have a very, very short flight time involved in this. So you're minimizing the risk of a 30K, and to make 14K profit off of a standard freelancer is an absolutely fantastic scenario. Okay? Now, if you want to run over and do something different than that, then again, I suggest doing the Laranite run. But do that out of Hurston and Lorville, going over to Ariel, bouncing between Besdick and Lathan. You're going to make some good chunk of change there as well, but you're going to have to put 150 to almost 200K worth of material in risk on your ship. Okay? So buyer beware in that scenario. So right now, this is a very viable option running in and out of the SAL5 location. All right? But let's refresh that. Arc Corp, Lyria. Alright, so there's a couple of other locations. There's another mining location, which is SAL2. We can take a look at. Obviously, they're sitting on some diamond. So they've got titanium and diamond. So it does look like you've got some options that are sitting there. Let's see what refresh rates we look at. Where's Lyria? Lyria, SAL2. Again, oh, you know what? We're going to have to go test it. Let's head over to Lyria and look for SAL2. Let's go find out what kind of diamond we can get at Lyria. Because if we bring that back over here to area 18, looks like it sells for 7.3. So it's not going to be a huge profit here. But if it's an alternate location where we have the ability to be able to pick up some good quantity that maybe is hidden because nobody has reported it yet, that might be a really good thing. We can kind of keep our fingers crossed. So Shubin Mining Facility, Sal 2, that is where we are headed back to. Now, I'm not expecting any crazy refresh rates, to full disclosure, but we never know unless we get there and we test it out. Praetorian, I have tried it, and it works, but it works better with much smaller ships, and even on a standard freelancer, I found that there's just too much to do, or there's too much to try and sell.
Oh, shut up. Sorry, dog.
Well, thank you, Chad. I will make sure that I shut up from now on. But ultimately, the freelancer itself, I think, holds too much cargo unless you're talking about distilled spirits, or unless you're talking, and now we're talking pure vice here, right? Distilled spirits, or you're talking about stems. Again, those won't register truly as illegal cargoes, but those two trade fairly decently at your rest and relax locations. So all your R&Rs. So you can do something there with that. Distilled spirits, Praetorian, is one of those things that I highly recommend integrating into any trade that you're going to run that's going to take you to an R&R. As far as any other situation, if we're talking slam, widow, any of those other things like that, you are lucky if you can get between 3 to 4 SCU sold at any given time, which means that you're going to sit there for an hour plus to 2 hours just trying to sell your stuff. And I've even tested it where I've jumped servers. I've gone server to server trying to jump between them to sell, and then jump to another server, sell, jump to another server, sell, and it still takes forever to offload that cargo. By the time you calculate all that lost time up, standard trading routes usually win out. Now, if you were to grab something like Widow, and you were to load a Caterpillar with it, and you want to spend the 48 hours that it's going to take to offload a Caterpillar full, you'll probably make 2 to 2.5 million in profit. But again, I know from personal experience that using the trade routes and things that I do, I can easily average and make, and Chad will back me up on this, over 1 million SCU a day in flight time. Which is the reason why our channel gives away Cutlass Blacks. Red Dragon chimes in at the last minute with gargoyles. Talking about cartoons. It wasn't worth it for me from a standpoint of it got really boring standing there trying to sell it. Okay? If you don't mind tying up a ship, so Praetorian, let me go like this. Let me say it like this: if you have a place that you want to go to, okay, and that you go to on a regular basis, and they will also buy, drugs. Did that say pad 3? I think it said pad 3. But if they will also buy drugs, so let's say you're in and out of one of those R&Rs all the time, right? Then I would say fill up a freelancer full of drugs, take it over there and park it. because every time you come back in on a standard trade run, Hangar 3, every time you come back in on a standard trade run, what you're going to see, Kazuma, thank you for the subscription, and thank you for following us over there. And that was a subscription over on YouTube, so again, I appreciate you following and watching us over on YouTube. But Praetorian, getting back to that conversation, if you were to do that, every time you would fly into an R&R, or that particular R&R, then it's worth doing it, because you're not going to sit there and it's a ship you're not using all the time. It's the cargo is there and it's protected. Okay? So at that point in time, it's just a little bonus sale every time you fly into port. That is... I don't want to climb in a... You son of a... Alright, so now we get to go through, let's climb, get into bed, and try and climb out again, have him yawn. And with any luck, fingers crossed, we won't get stuck in bed. Looks like we might be stuck in bed. Let's try that key and see if it's going to let us out of here. Alright. Benzakura, thank you for the subscription. Thank you for following. It'll catch up here in a minute. And that was also over on our YouTube side of the house. So, again, thank you for following the channel. We appreciate you guys. Oh. It's just you. I'm just messing with you, X. Thank you. Alright. Ship's acting goofy. I went to hit my U key to start everything up, and all of a sudden it just gets me out of my chair. Alright. So let's try voice attacks. Let's see if voice attack's going to work right now. Engines on. It took that one. Come on, Ben. Come on, Benzakura. That's really what it is, right? You're already following over on Twitch. You know, I don't expect people to go to both sides of the house in order to be able to do stuff, because it's realistically the same content. But again, I appreciate it, so thank you. All right, let's get her out of here. Let's see if we can fly today, which apparently we can't, because it just did a nosedive on me. There we go. Alright, so again, we're going to go check out this other location that was sitting over there, so the Sal 2, and double check what the refresh rates are sitting there for Diamond, just so that we can try and figure out whether or not we have anything that's viable from a big ship capacity, or if it's only viable from a small ship capacity. Alright, so back down here into... And again, we're completely ignoring Walla, and Walla is really where a lot of people that hit this system go to. So keep this in mind. You may run into a situation where you're not really competing for this material either. Set route. Spool quantum drive. Kazuma, do you use M and KB? I am not familiar with what that is, so I'm going to hesitate to say no, but can you enlighten me a little bit better than just M and KB? Launch quantum drive. Oh, mouse and keyboard. Okay, thank you. All right. Old dude here. Help me out. That's how it works. Thanks, Jelly. I do use mouse and keyboard a vast majority of the time. When I'm in my fighters, I do like a dual flight stick. I haven't finished my configuration file getting my dual flight stick set up. It is not the HOTUS setups. It is a standard flight stick that is, what's it? It's the Logitech Extreme Pro. So it's a basic flight stick, and then I've got a, oh, it looks like something just happened and somebody just popped something over there on Twitch. But I also use a Thrustmaster. So I've got the Thrustmaster, which is not a Z-axis, and that's my throttle and does other things. But when I reset my character file, or my user file, I ended up losing all those configurations, so I haven't put them back together again. I'm trying to figure out how to pull all of my other stuff together in order to be able to make sure that I can pull from my old file and mix it with my new user file and not corrupt it. So again, I saw something on the screen that looked like fireworks and other things going off on my Twitch stream, but it's not giving me a notice as to what just took place. So I'll just say everybody, because it's always something special that happens when stuff like that goes on screen. So everybody that's in chat and over on Twitch and YouTube, whatever you did, thank you. Thumbs up. Good job. Keep it rolling. I'll figure it out later, because I have to find out what launches off that particular function. So like, also, basically, Kazuma, what I am predominantly on when I'm flying any trade ship is always going to be mouse and keyboard. So if you did a subscription, X, to the channel, again, I really appreciate it, but that's not the logo and information and stuff that I have set up for it. So I'm wondering why it did that one instead, because what it should have popped up with is a clip from Aliens that screams out, "You rock," when that happens. I wonder if the Twitch gods are just acting funny and maybe they haven't approved the actual GIF yet. We'll find out. Come on, land it. Alright, I'll double check, because like I said, all of that should have been set up to where it just does the You Rock subscription, regardless of which one that one is. But it's all good, dude. I, again, greatly, greatly appreciate it. And I think I have to run over here for a while in order to be able to get to what we need to go check out. Ah, there we go. Gravity's normal on this planet. I can actually do my long jumps. And I like the third-person view here because of all the snow and crap that gets onto your helmet. You need your daily trading drugs. So what would you say, X, if, from your daily trading drugs perspective, what would you say if we dedicate one stream to doing an extreme trade? I don't know if you'd be down for that. And what I mean by that is we either pick Agricium or we pick laranite, and we totally just sit there and try and see if we can fully fill up a caterpillar with one of those commodities, bouncing back and forth between a couple locations, basically taking on the entire risk to do one of the largest trades you can do in the game. Alright, so we are here to check out diamonds, right? Now, I will say this, if you look at the price of titanium here, the price of titanium is much better at this location. So Sal 2, the price would be absolutely fantastic. Now, it looks like it's going to let me completely fill up my freelancer, which I don't want to do. I want to check the diamond, and I want to check the refresh rate here. Holy crap. Alright, so we may have to bring a caterpillar out here. I will put that on the to-do list for tomorrow, is grabbing a caterpillar and bringing it out to this location. Chad?
That titanium price ain't bad.
So the titanium's not bad. The diamond price is inflated. Instead of 585, it's 626. But it's allowing me to fill up a freelancer. So I have no idea what the total quantity is sitting on this terminal.
Where are you at?
I am over at Sal 2, and it's one of the blanked out ones that is sitting in Gallic. So let's just take and make sure it's even worth it here. So with that particular purchase, right, that's a pretty steep price. But we're going to make less than $1, so it's only 90 cents per trade here, right? But if I look back over and I say the same thing, it may be a good place to grab diamonds, right? That's all I'm getting at. But if we want to go back over here and we want to say the same thing, but we want to go ahead and look at our titanium, which should be right here.
That's what I'm thinking. With that price of $757.
Yeah, that would be the better deal there. So Sal is trying to say it's normally $796, right? So we've got $757 here, and it looks like it has a max inventory of 800,000. It's not the greatest refresh rate. It damn sure ain't Besdick with 22,000 per minute, but that's not bad. If people are not out here doing this, so this is pretty. That would be a pretty good solid statement to check into this one. Now let's see. Our closest location obviously is sitting over here at Arc Corp, and it's 890. So we're looking at more than $2 per share of titanium. That's what we're running. So 49K worth of titanium, right? And again, I'm taking my time and I'm exploring stuff right here. So it's actually 49.9, so we'll roll that up to 50K. But I'm really taking my time, so we're not doing something where I'm like trying to run a speed run. But if you wanted to run a speed run in and out of here, then X, give me 1 second. I'll answer that for you here in a minute. Then you could potentially just do very, very quick runs in and out of here, grabbing titanium and taking it back. Chad, do you know what your availability is on Friday?
I do not at the moment. What do you want?
Okay. So X is asking when we are going to try and potentially do our 4-cat group. Right? I know I have my 2, and I know you have your 2. And we just have to grab a couple of pilots out of chat here in order to be able to make it work. So I was thinking that because we could do the 4-cat trade, if you were available on Friday, then that would be a good deal because we could wrap up with the giveaway at the end of the trade run.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Friday looks like.
So X, let's tentatively put it on the schedule for Friday. Okay? And we'll be calling on some folks that are in trade to be able to help us pilot those cats so that we can make sure that we can get to and from and do what we need to do. And, you know, again, anybody that flies with us gets paid by us. We'll give you a portion of that profit. That way you're still just, you know, even though it's stream time, you're still going to get an opportunity to make some money out of it. And if we do it right, then potentially we might be looking at the fact that we could probably get a good, what, 2 or 3 runs in using the 4-cat technique during that time frame.
Yeah, I think. So, hey, hold on a second.
No worries. So, like I said, Chad is working. He does have a full-time job, and he hops onto stream to help me out. So I think that I have to be cognizant of his time and what he has scheduled before we commit to having that happen. But tentatively, like I said, let's look at it from a Friday perspective. Okay.
All right, sorry about that. So if I do my like the scrap diamond run, I've timed from Lorville to Porto is 40 minutes for a single cat. So if you run dual cats and do it, there's a lot of potential there. Or the gold diamond run. I hesitate to do your run with the 4 cats because we're going to spend a lot of time waiting on Laranite.
Well, I wouldn't do Laranite in that scenario. I would just say straight titanium, fill it and go.
Well, we've had issues with that too, with it blacking out on the titanium.
That is fair. That is definitely fair.
I know I've run in some large groups where we just did that gold diamond run, and only in very large groups did we manage to run out.
Well, we'd be pulling 200,000 from a terminal in one shot.
I think we'd be all right.
That's now, if we were to try and do it over and over and over again, yeah, I think we'd kill the terminal. But I think
no, we sat there and did it for a few hours that night. I think we'd be fine. I really do. That gold diamond run is a nice little easy one, where I saw us have to wait one time to fill.
Okay.
Now, if other people were doing the same thing, well, you know, there you go.
Now, I mean, obviously, we have the opportunity to say we can always try and do the gold diamond run, and then we can flip over and try and do a titanium run. You know, we can do a couple of those different things as well that are sitting there, all within the overall Hurston system, and see if we can how well we can do with the caterpillars during that time frame. Alright, so there is our light right there, okay? And there's our circle, spire. But if you take a look, there's our, again, we're at a different angle, so there's our starport right there, which is where we're going to line up to.
I gotta quit flipping my mic up. Yeah, no, I totally agree. You know, do the gold diamond once or twice and then the titanium. I mean, and see how that works.
We're all about giving our viewers options, so I mean, might as well.
Well, realistically, you want to do it's a shorter run and very profitable. You want to do the titanium as much as possible. I just don't like to wait around. Time's money, man.
Oh, it is. Definitely is. So, again, now, we have the funds, by the way, to actually accept that kind of risk right now. So that's not a big issue. Where even if we were to lose or have a 30K or something go on, you're not going to see Chad or I get irritated at the fact that we may have, but each of us having on our caterpillars probably 400 to 500K per caterpillar. So we'd be running risks of close to $1 million per load. I don't think that bothers us hardly at all anymore.
I think we'll be all right. That's what we've been wanting to do. It's just a matter of not having the pilots. You know, we've gotten to the point where we don't mind risking. You know, where we can definitely do it without breaking our rule of thumb: never have more than half your funds.
Yep. So yeah, that's once the hulls come out, dude. Praetorian, I'm serious. I am going after one. There's absolutely nothing in this world that is going to stop me from grabbing a hull. I want the Hull C because I think it's the most versatile out of all of them. From a potential of being able to land on planet side as well as do the trades that they're setting up for those larger ships like that. So I will hands down be going after that.
Well, they definitely have to tweak some of the rates, or you're going to get stuck with the processed food scrap run.
Well, that's the reason why they haven't instituted them yet, Chad, is because they're going to have to redo almost the entire economy to make it work. Because the basic economy they have right now, even one or two holes in the game will break that economy. Come on. Your nose is in there. Fine. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. You don't want to let me land, then we will go ahead and just go into third and bring the bird down on the ground. I don't care. This is all about trying to figure out whether or not this is going to work for everyone. And I promise you, I really don't fly like this most of the time, but whenever we're on stream, I'm usually trying to get in and get done, because this is, right here is one of the most boring parts, I think, of when you're doing trading, especially when you're doing it from a stream perspective. Where is my door? There it is. Is getting in and out of the ships. It just gets tedious. Excuse me. You know, I think I need to get up earlier every day and have another big glass of tea before I ever start. I just feel like I got more energy this morning. You know?
So what are you doing now, Mike?
Customs. Alright, so where I'm at right now is I'm back in Area 18, and I am running over to the tram so that I can sell this titanium and see exactly what kind of margin's going to happen. To basically kind of really give my full blessing or thumbs up on the, you know, on the Sal 2 location, the Shubin mining facility. From an in trade.
What moon is that off
trade.
of?
That is off of. Well, don't make me lie to you here. Hold on. It's off Lyria.
Okay.
So,
I'm just loading up in my cat. I was going to grab Diamond, but what I think I'll do is I'll head over there with the cat just to see what kind of fill-up we get.
right. Like I said, the diamond is not worth it, but I am curious about the titanium. Whether or
Well,
not.
That's what I'm going to do.
And then it's a very quick, short jump from there back into Area 18 to sell it. But the refresh rate is not fantastic, which means that's not something that is going to be exploitable time and time and time and time again unless you're in a smaller ship. But I can't tell you like what the actual true refresh rate is that's sitting out there. And how much quantity they average on hand until we bring a big ship into play. I just these particular trams, Area 18's trams, are it really impressed me. I really love it because of the backdrop that it's going through. There's just so much detail here. I don't know why I spent so much time really avoiding this place. It's growing on me pretty quickly. I guess I got used to my little bread and butters there. This ain't right. Plaza. There we go. And then let's run over to the trade district terminals. Now, I mean, once they do a little bit more to stabilize New Babbage, and there's a little bit more commodity runs that can go in and out of there, I think I'll probably enjoy New Babbage as well. I did go out there early on, and it was there. You know, I know they're going to be adding shops and doing more and other stuff to it, and I think as it grows, it may kind of grow on me, but right now it's just not there. Alright, so it is confirmed. It does sell for $8.90. So we are going to be able to sell this for $58K. Alright? Which means that this quick little turnaround run right here of just titanium is going to net a pilot somewhere around 8.5K profit just for a quick, just boom, 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 boom kind of run.
That's what, $1.33, so that's not too bad.
That's right on par with running astatine, just about. So
I ought to be able to make about.
You ought to be able to make over 100K.
No, I make about 75K. So every dollar you make is $56,000.
Yeah.
Or credits, and then so the extra 30 cents would be a third of that. So almost 20. So around 75K.
Fair. I mean, I've seen where we've had some really good prices on astatine, I guess is why I was saying I was comparing it to that. Because on astatine run, if you get a really good purchase price and you sell it at Port Olisar for 9 AUEC per share, then you can usually bank somewhere between 100 to 110, which is fantastic on a cat. But anyway, alright guys, so we are just a few minutes short of our typical, time where we're gonna kill the stream and end for the day. But I will tell you, I give you a thumbs up on if you're new to the game and you're a new trader and you only have a freelancer to run titanium from Shubin, the S2 location, and then the agresium and titanium combination that's coming from the Sal 5 location, and running those back and forth between Lyria and Area 18. I think you will profit enough money that you're going to make a pretty decent chunk of change fairly quickly in the freelancer. So those two today are the new exploratory routes that we were playing around with, and ultimately they get my thumbs up. So if that's what you've got and that's what's available to you, by all means run them and check them out. Try and exploit them, see what you can get out of them, and hopefully they do well for you. With everybody that is a new subscriber over on YouTube, thank you for subscribing today and following. I do stream pretty much every day, with the exception of Sundays. Most of my content is geared towards trading, with the exception being Saturday, where it's kind of our screw around day and we just go out and have a whole bunch of fun and do different things. For all of you that are over on Twitch and did any of the cheers, did any of the bits, any of the follows, and any of the subscriptions through Twitch, again, I appreciate you. We're just trying to grow the channel right now, and I'm very happy that each of you has decided to invest time in the channel and watch and enjoy the content. So with that, guys, instead of ending this stream like I normally do, we're going to raid another channel, but or actually, I wanted to raid another channel, but I'm gonna check something. Chad, can you verify? I don't see him on.
I do not see him on. Let me double check.
Okay, so it may not be.
You know who's a good one to raid?
Who's that?
You definitely want to
I would definitely want to raid somebody that I could hear.
raid.
Your mic broke up pretty
What?
bad there, dude. I have no
Oh.
idea who you were talking about.
Well, I didn't give a name. Check out Spazzy McGee. We can raid in on him.
Is he currently running?
He's currently running.
All right, so tell me what he. Okay.
He does a little bit of everything. He runs some cats and stuff, and they'll go out and just do crazy stuff.
What? How do I spell out Spazzy McGee? And I want to make sure I got it right so I can carry everybody over there. And you're not committed to sticking around. If once we raid and we jump over there, it's going to bring everybody into his channel. And if just for some good quality content, I trust Chad's judgment on this. So if it's not your cup of tea, by all means, just bounce off of his channel, and then we'll see you guys tomorrow. So SP. Okay, here we go. SPAZ_McGee. And voila! Why didn't it go?
I don't know. I don't raid. I mean, I do.
8 viewers ready. Okay, raid now. There we go. It gave me a pop-up that was sitting back in the back.
All right. Make sure you hype it up going in, guys.